Hello, my name is Amy Triplett, and I am a Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I'm going to give you just a couple of tips on how to promote a opportunity meeting with Plexus, or sometimes I call them informational meetings. But I'm going to talk about how I promoted it, especially if you have somebody coming that is a special guest for you. In my case, I had Cindy Anderson, who's part of my upline. She came all the way from Dallas, Texas, and did a meeting for me in Tampa. And that was just huge for me. I was so excited and so grateful. I did not want her to feel like she wasted her time. I wanted to, obviously make the most of that. And so I did a couple of things to make sure we had a great turnout. And we really had a great turnout. We had 43 people come. And that's huge here because it is not well known here at all. And so 43 people were great. That's more than double than I've ever had before. So I was really excited about that. So I wrote down a couple of things of what I did to make sure that we had a good turnout. And let me just say that it was a big storm that night, so I actually had about 8 people cancel with like an hour before because of the big storm. So we could have had more. But anyway, it was still a good turnout, especially, like I said, for that storm. So what I did, the first thing was I made a Facebook event. And what I did with that is I made sure I invited every single person in the Tampa area. And I constantly kept sharing it on my timeline in any group that I'm in, any yard sale group in the area, my church group. I would share that constantly. And I made sure, like I said, I invited every single person in the Tampa area. I also made it where anybody can invite people, so I opened it and made it public. Sometimes I'm not the best with wording, so I even researched a little bit and made sure that I knew what that I knew how to word it and what to say. So I just researched that other events and, how to do that. But another thing I did was I, just like I would do on my timeline, I kept posting on that Facebook event different testimonies and different, cute pictures, things like that, so that, so people are constantly reminded and seeing it. So anyway, that was a huge thing. Another thing I did is my husband made flyers, and the flyers we hung in like smoothie shops, in the gym. We just hung around town and promoted it as like a community event. And I really made sure I built up the speaker. Cindy is a professional in our company, so I made sure people know I have a professional from Dallas, Texas coming just to do this opportunity meeting. And I promoted, we're going to talk about candida and leaky gut, and it's we're going to talk about, these amazing products. So I made sure that I really built her up as a leader in our company. People have no idea what an Emerald Ambassador is, so I made sure that they realized it was a very well-respected position with Plexus. She drives a Lexus. She won a trip to Hawaii. So I made sure that they, understood this was a really big deal, and I really built that up. Another thing I did was I have about 10 ambassadors in the Tampa area, so I had a contest for them. And basically what I did was I said a $50 gift card to Target to the person who brings the most guests. And I had one of my ambassadors bring 11 guests. That was really awesome. And then I had, for every guest you brought, your name would go into a drawing, just for the ambassadors. And they could win a $25 gift card to Target. And that person who won ended up bringing 7 people. So it was really awesome. So I made sure, and I also gave each one of my ambassadors 20 of those flyers that I made, so they can pass them out and give them to whoever and hang them up too. Another thing is, it is, wonderful to have my Facebook event and promote it on my timeline, but that's easier to ignore. So what I did is I personally called or talked to people that I really wanted to be, like my close friends, my family that live here. I called and let them know, hey, I have a professional coming from Dallas, Texas. Can you please come support me, come learn about this, learn why I'm so excited about this. And, I just, I just went ahead and called them and specifically asked and followed up with them, the day before, hey, are you coming? Or I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I can't wait for you to, hear more about Plexus. Things like that. So that is how I promoted it. And again, it did go really well, especially in the middle of a storm. So that was great. One thing I also did is, in preparing for her to come, I made sure we had a nice place I secured a place. I made sure all the details of that was finalized. I made sure I had extra chairs. I made sure that, we had food, and I delegated that among my ambassadors. I had people help set up. I wanted everything perfect and set up beforehand so that all she had to do was come and speak. And, I made sure we went out to eat beforehand. So I wanted her to feel like, to realize how grateful I was. And the only thing I wanted her to do is just to speak, and she went over and beyond and did a training with my team, and she was just phenomenal. So everything went well. But also I wanted to make sure that I communicated with her. I want to make sure that I knew exactly what I needed to bring, what products I needed to bring, what was my part. So you definitely need to keep those communication lines open so that you know what to expect, because I've never done this before. On my own I did, but I didn't ever attend any kind of meeting before I started doing them on my own. So it was really, really great. So anyway, that's what I did to promote the Plexus opportunity meeting with Emerald Ambassador Sunday Anderson, and it went well. So, all right, thanks for listening. Bye.